You are standing at pump 6 on a Tuesday afternoon, watching the number spin past $40 for a tank you could have filled for half that 5 years ago. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Payday. You don't look yet. You already know what it says, because it always says the same thing. $58,000 a year. Almost exactly the national average. Not the salary that gets talked about on a stage somewhere. Not the salary anyone writes a book about. The kind of number that just covers things if you're careful and disappears completely if you're not. You will not get discovered. You will not get promoted into a different tax bracket. Most years, your raise will barely keep up with the price of the gas you're pumping right now, and by every measure your coworkers use to measure each other, you are going to look exactly average for the next 40 years, and in 40 years, you are going to have almost $3 million. Here's the part nobody sits you down and explains. There are two numbers that matter in your financial life, and only one of them is your salary. The first number is the one printed on your paycheck. $1,687 every 2 weeks, after taxes. It is going to look almost identical when you're 60 as it does today. That number is not the story. The second number is the one you're about to start feeding, and it is the one that actually writes the ending. You are 26. The deposit lands on a Friday, same as always. Before rent, before the gas station, before anything else touches it, $850 leaves your account and moves into a brokerage account you opened on your phone in under 15 minutes. Enough goes into your 401k to capture the full company match, money you'd be turning down for free otherwise. The rest goes into a Roth IRA and a low-cost total market index fund. You don't check the price tomorrow. You don't check it next week either. It is roughly 18% of what you make. To make that work, you keep the car with the cracked windshield one more year, and you split an apartment 2 years longer than everyone you graduated with. Nobody notices this decision. There's nothing to notice. You are simply a person who decided to live slightly smaller than your paycheck allowed, on purpose, every single month. 1 year later, you've put in $10,200. The account says $10,584. $384 appeared that you didn't work for, not from a shift, not from overtime, just from money sitting in 500 companies while you slept and drove and forgot it existed. It's nothing. It wouldn't cover this month's rent. But it's the first dollar in your life that didn't cost you an hour, and something in you quietly notices the door that just opened. You are 31, 5 years in. The account reads $62,475. You've contributed $51,000 of that yourself. The other $11,475 came from nowhere you can point to on a calendar. At work, there's a guy named Derek. Derek makes $79,000 to your $58,000, and he wants you to know it. He leases a truck with a payment bigger than your rent. He's got the new boat, the lake house rental every July, the watch he checks in every meeting. By any measure your coworkers use, Derek is winning. What none of them can see is that Derek has a salary, and you have a salary and a second engine running quietly underneath it, one that doesn't care whether you show up to work tomorrow or not. You are 35, 9 years in, $133,837 on the screen. You put in $91,800 across those 9 years. The other $42,037 grew on its own. You're not rich. You're not close. But you notice, for the first time, that the growth this year alone was more than 2 months of your take-home pay. Then the ground moves. You are 42 now, 16 years into this, and the market doesn't dip. It falls apart. Over a few brutal months, the account loses more than a quarter of its value, and every headline uses the same word, crisis. Derek, and men like Derek, sell. They turn a number that would have healed itself into a loss that never will. You do the thing that feels reckless and isn't. You stop opening the app. You keep sending the $850 in every single month, buying more shares precisely because they're cheap, and you let the number be ugly for a while. History does what it has done in every 20-year window on record. It comes back, and then it climbs past where it fell. And somewhere in that same year, quietly, with no headline of its own, something else happens. Your contributions to date sit at $163,200. Your growth sits at $116. For the first time in your life, the money you didn't earn is worth more than the money you did. You didn't get a raise. Nobody handed you anything. A line just got crossed on an ordinary Tuesday, and from here forward, the invisible half of your wealth is doing more of the lifting than you are. If this is the first time anyone's laid that math out for you this clearly, that's exactly what this channel is for. Hit like so more people see this before it's too late for them to use it. Then let's keep going, because the number is about to stop looking small. You are 46, 20 years in. The account crosses $500,000, $204,000 of it yours, $296,769 of it never was. Derek got divorced 2 years ago. The truck's gone, traded for something cheaper. He mentions once, lightly, the way people mention things they've decided not to feel, that he doesn't really have anything saved. He still out-earns you. He's out-earned you every year for 2 decades, and the gap between what he's made and what he has is the entire point of this video. You are 50, 24 years in, $736,529. You've put in $244,800 across a quarter century of Fridays. The other $491,729 you never worked a single hour for. You stopped checking the balance before buying coffee. You can't remember the last time you did the math at a red light with your jaw tight. It didn't happen on a specific day. It just quietly stopped being necessary. You are 54, 28 years in. The account crosses $1 million, and you don't tell anyone right away. Not because it's a secret, because there's no sentence that fits the moment. $1,061,310. You put in $285,600 of that. The rest, $775,710, compounded while you were living an entirely ordinary life. $1 million on a salary that never once cracked 6 figures. You are 60, 34 years in, $1,789,845. You contributed $346,800 total, $850 a month, for 408 months, without ever breaking the habit. Everything above that, $1,443,045, you never earned. It compounded. The account gains 6 figures in a single flat month now, more than you used to make in 2 years, and the strangest part is how normal it started to feel. You are 66. 40 years from that Tuesday at Pump 6. The number on the screen says $2,966,798. Read the arithmetic of an entire working life laid flat. You personally contributed $408,000, less than $500,000, spread so thin across 4 decades you never once felt rich putting it in. Everything else, $2,558,798, was never yours to earn. It was time, doing the only thing time does to money you refuse to touch. At a 4% withdrawal rate, this account now pays you roughly $118,000 a year, more than double your old salary, indefinitely, without selling a single share. You didn't out-earn anyone. You outlasted the urge to spend it. Derek is 70 now, telling a younger guy at a barbecue how much he used to make. The number is still impressive. It was always impressive. It bought the truck and the boat and the lake house, and then it was gone, because a salary is only a river, and a river only ever matters by how much of it you divert before it reaches the sea. You pull into that same gas station 40 years later. Pump 6 is out of order now. You use Pump 2 instead. Your phone buzzes. Payday. $1,687. The same number it's always been. The number that was never going to make you rich on its own. You don't look at it the way you used to. You look past it, at the number underneath it, the one that moved every single month for 40 years while the first one stood still. And you finally understand you were never supposed to win with the first number. You were only ever going to win in everything you refused to let it spend. If nobody ever walked you through this math, that's the point of this channel. Subscribe and let's build the next 40 years on purpose.